Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Good evening, everybody. This is Donnie B, got the beats. And when you hear that chime, you already know what time it is. We live on the beats, man. And in typical Donnie B fashion, I got to give the glorious intro. Glorious intro inserted here. So let's take this back a little bit. But a lot of people may or may not know, I actually am a content curator and production chief for the Military Fresh Network, the dopest social network that's out. Shout out MFN and all the MFN fam. Through my dealings with Military Fresh Network, I came across two of my previous guests on the beat, Barbaric Barry and D Wow. Shout out to both of them. But while I was tuned in and while Barbaric Barry was on the interview, this young lady was chiming in, you know what I mean, and then reached out, was like, hey man, how can I be a part of this show? I was like, cool. I always reach out, especially, and a lot, look out for people who's coming up and try to see what I can do. So I did my research, did my homework on this lady. This lady is like, she has a ridiculous story, and I mean that in a very, very how can I put it? A very positive way. I don't want to say ridiculous, like it's crazy or nothing, but her story of and everything was really compelling. Her talent is dope. She got bars. You gotta say bars every time she spits, because it just, that's how you do. You know what I mean? But definitely somebody, the type of talent I look for the beat, man. Definitely somebody that I'm humbled that she actually reached out to me. You know what I mean? Because she's the type of person I would be looking out for, to see her and hit her in inbox like, hey, would you mind getting on my show? But nonetheless, got to say all that to say, CEO of Fallback Sound and recording artist Cole Renee. Cole Renee, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. It is so amazing to be here with you. I'm excited. You have no idea. I'm very humbled.
Thank you.
Humbled. And this is actually my first real interview to where I actually feel comfortable to speak about my story and talk about who I actually am in my music. So to be able to finally talk about something that I've been passionate about my entire life, you have no idea how much that means to me.
Well, I'm glad to have helped to do that, especially be one of the first for you. Plenty more to come, I'm sure, based off of your work ethic and the art that you put out in the universe, man. Kudos to you. And the feeling is mutual. Like I said, humbled specifically. I definitely wanted to say Lisa Dove Washington, of Dubstyle Magazine on the East Coast. She is a steady supporter of the beat, and if you need any kind of publicity or anything in her magazine, feel free to reach out to her. Support her, man. She's dope. But back to you, Renee. First of all, how are you?
Say that one more time.
So first of all, how are you this evening? Everything good?
I'm great. I mean, I'm great. I am great. I'm about 2 weeks away from an album I've been working on during the whole pandemic.
Awesome.
And to know that I'm finally 2 weeks away from something that I've been waiting to do my entire life. I mean, I don't even have the words. I couldn't find the words of how I actually feel inside. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, we definitely gonna get to the intricacies of that. But you said that is your first album?
Yes, it will be my first. It will be the first album. Not my last, hopefully not my last, but my
Oh,
first.
only you can tell the end of that chapter. You know what I mean? But that's dope, though. Congratulations, man. Definitely when you complete it, let me know or let me know what's up so I can support it for sure.
Yes, of course.
Let's take it back though. Let's go back down memory lane. Who is Cole Renee?
Who is Cole Renee? Well, my name is Nicole Renee. Nicole Renee. And my mom, growing up, used to always just call me Cole Renee. It was never Nicole. It was always Cole Renee. When I first started doing music, I, when you're younger, you always go by another name. But as I've gotten older, I've realized I just go by my name. It's what everybody knows me as. And it's what I've been grown up as. That's what I grew up of knowing. Who is Cole Renee? I'm a woman, I'm a woman of faith, not fate. I'm a woman of faith who believes that everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose for everything. I believe that we're here for a purpose. And I've known what my purpose was since I was a little girl. I think some people find out later on in life. I knew when I was a little girl what my purpose was in this life. And I had a lot of challenges to get to where I'm at now, to where I'm finally fulfilling my purpose. But I'm a woman of faith who believes everything happens for a reason. And the life that I've lived leading up to this point, everything's been a transition to get to where I'm at today. But I'm a woman that is very strong. I'm very strong-minded, very confident in everything I do. But I'm also a very low-key type of person. Like, you won't even know I'm in a room unless I say something. And when I say something, I have everybody's attention, but I speak rarely. But when I do speak, it is very important, everything I have to say. I'm always scanning the room, and I'm a very observant person. So I speak very few, but the words that I say are very real.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. You spent time in the U.S. military, correct?
I still am in the military.
See, that's first of all, thank you for the service. I'm sure you get that a lot. But the poise that you have is very, very representative of serving for the country. You know what I mean? It's awesome. And like I said, being around the Military Fresh Network, I've definitely experienced that quite a bit. But you specifically, you have this aura that's kind of it's more than just that. You know what I mean? Like you said, definitely you're you seem like the type of person that if you speak, people are like, "Oh, who's that?" You know what I mean? So kudos to you, man. Seriously.
Thank you. 14 years. I've been in the military 14 years. 6 years left, and I'm out. I'm gonna hang up that uniform.
Okay. Well, you will get to that too, because I definitely got a question to ask you with regard to that, and how do you balance that with the music industry and so forth and so on. But we'll come back to that. Growing up what was it like for you growing up? Where did you grow up? And tell us a little bit about that.
I was born in Los Angeles. I was raised in Los Angeles, and I would say about 7 or 8 years old. My dad, we didn't live in such a good area, so my dad moved us out to the Inland Empire, the IE. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the IE.
Everybody's grandchildren, Ontario.
Yes, he moved us out there, which at the time when he moved us out, I knew nothing about the Inland Empire, but it was very small at the time. Now it's huge, but it was very small at the time. My dad was a firm believer in trying to keep his family together. My dad was very family oriented, and he was always trying to keep us very grounded. My dad was a man of faith. He always grounded us in the Bible, and he always grounded us in having faith in God, and that as long as we trusted in him, that everything would work the way that it's supposed to work for good. And I think growing up, I thought he was a little crazy. But now that I'm older and look back, he was a man of wisdom. I think sometimes when he talked, he was just way too deep for me. When I was 8 or 9 years old, his proverbs and psalms, he would say, I'd look at him sometimes like, what is he talking about? But now that I'm older and I look back on those old conversations, I realize and understand what it is he meant, you know. But raised in that type of family really grounded and laid the foundation throughout my life for who I am today, you know.
Indeed. It's funny how it always turns out too. I said the same thing to my mom. I actually as an adult had to go back to mom and say, you know what? Hey, I'm sorry because you know I thought you were like a clown and the whole time you were like real. So like you know what I
Ain't
mean?
that
Like
the truth?
you know, funny how and I have kids now too, so I'm sure they're gonna say the same things and you know when they come of age too. So you know,
Yes. It's almost like we have to experience those hardships ourselves for us to realize what it is they were trying to say, you know?
right, right.
So,
Okay, okay, all right. So transition, you know, fast forward. How did you get started in the music business?
okay. So I have to kind of think here. Um, I've always done music my whole life. I just got done telling you a little bit ago that I knew when I was at a young age. I mean like 5 years old. I knew when I was 5 years old that I loved music.
Hmm.
I was a very shy child. I didn't really have many friends. I was in my room a lot, and I would listen to the radio. I was raised on oldies. My parents listened to oldies, so I was raised on, you know, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Motown. And I would listen to these songs all the time. And all I asked for was instruments all the time. And I would play these instruments and I would write down the words to these songs. And I would always change the words and make my own songs. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm talking 5 years old, you know, and I look back now and I'm like, oh, well, wow, you know, but at the time I didn't realize, you know, and I was just always doing that. And as I started to get older, I'll never forget the first time I heard rap. I heard rap when I was in fifth grade. I heard Ice Cube. And that same day, I heard a song by MC Light. And I was like, who is this? And just hearing a female being able to do the same thing that I just heard earlier that day, which was a male doing, I was just in awe. I was just fascinated at how they were rhyming these words. And because I was just so used to just hearing regular, you know, oldies, that I ran to my room and got my little notepad. And I mean, I never would look back at those oldies. It was from there on, it was rap. You know, everything was rap. And I started to write songs when I was in elementary school, going into junior high.
Hmm.
And I would always perform them for my friends, you know, and they would always say, man, you're good, you know. And I would just think in my head, oh, they're just saying that because I'm the only one doing it. No one else is doing it, you know. But as I got into junior high, I was always scheming for money, to be honest with you. I was always scheming for money. I would record my songs tapes
Hmm.
and I would sell them to my friends and be like, all right, I'll let you listen to my song. You got to give me $1. And then I need it back by lunch because I gotta give it to somebody else because I only have one tape. So they'll give me $1, listen to it, you know, during class or on break, give me the tape back, and I'll go hit up another friend like, hey, you want to hear my new song? Everyone likes it. It's $1, you know, and I'll make money off selling these little tapes, you know. And I was hustling, you know. Going into high school, I ended up going to a school where a lot of people rapped, and I'm glad that I got to experience that. But we would battle rap every lunch, and it was survival of the fittest during that time frame. And I really learned how to excel my verbiage and my stride and my cadence of how to rap during those time frames. And my goal, I like literally made it to my goal to be able to just compete against the men, because if I knew in my head that if I can last a freestyle battle with a guy, then I can do anything, you know. I can battle any female, you know, just like if you play basketball or any other sport, if you can keep up with the guys, you know you can, you know, outlast any of your other competition, you know. So I was constantly every day, everything was a freestyle. I mean, I was just really just trying to polish up on on my game. After high school, I left to the Army, so I had a break in music. While I was in the Army, I would go through times where I would write, but it was nothing ever. I never had anything in mind of ever really wanting to do music. It was more like a hobby, or if I'm with a group of friends, I'm rapping. They know I rap. But as far as getting into the music industry, in all honesty, it wasn't in my mind until the pandemic started. The pandemic hit last year, and I really started to think, when we didn't know what was going on and you saw people dying left and right, the news is talking about these tolls, that really hit me. And I really started to think like, man, I may end up not making it through. I may get COVID and die. And no one's ever heard any of this music that I've ever done. All these writings I've ever done, no one will ever be able to hear them. And that really struck me hard. For a while, we had to stay, on lockdown, and I had a lot of time to think. And during those times of thinking, it was a very heavy weight that started to be on me. Like, you have this gift of music. No one's ever heard it. You don't know what's going on with this pandemic. You don't know what's going to happen. And you have all this time. What are you going to do? It was almost like a fork in the road for me. And it was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to do nothing and something happens to you and you die? Or are you just going to lay it all out on the line? Right. I literally decided that day, I'm going to do it. I'll never forget. It was on Thursday. And I said, you know what? I'm stuck in this lockdown. I picked up some equipment, laid it out in my garage, and I said, I'm going to start recording. And I started writing. I started writing everything. I started writing down how I felt about everything, just looking back on my life. And that's how I started. And I told myself, it was literally about November, December, and the new year was about to start. I had started recording, and I was done with a couple songs. And I told myself, if you do not put something out by January 1st, 2021, do not ever write another song again. I told myself that. Donnie, I told myself that. I said, if you do not write, or if you do not put one thing out on the 24-hour period of January 1st, 2021, do not write another thing again. And I dropped a freestyle on January 1st, 2021, and that was the beginning of Fallback Sound.
Yeah. That's that's a heavy dose of everything. But I love
you know what? I'll tell you what. You would think one song means nothing, but that one little freestyle carried so much weight with it. And when I uploaded that song, so much weight, and the years of this weight of not doing anything and not putting anything out, and the self-doubt and the barriers I had placed on myself was just lifted. And I haven't felt that weight since.
Yeah, I mean, when you have, there's certain things that it's like it breaks the levee for you, and then once it happens, it comes out. That's man. It resonated heavily with me. I've been at that place.
I know. Before. I know you. Like I said, I brought up earlier that I know that you have a similar story with your shyness. Mine's a little different because mine's introvertness. So I think, is it true that if you're a shy type of person, you can still deal with the crowd? You're just shy, correct?
Yeah. I mean, being shy is something a lot of people get it misconstrued, but I think you can still handle affairs just like anybody else. You can still talk to people just like anybody else. Being shy doesn't mean that you're withdrawn. That's something totally different. You know what I mean?
So you deal with the shy part, and I deal with the introvertness part. So the introvert, if you guys don't know what an introvert is, that is a person who is the opposite of being shy. They withdraw. So I withdraw literally to where I will get social anxiety, to where I have to be alone in a room. Like I will put myself in a room and be alone, which is a complete contrast from being in the military. And that's why I don't talk about being in the military much. If someone doesn't really know who I am, they would have never known I'm in the military. When I'm in the military, it's almost like I have an alter ego or something, because when I'm in that uniform, I'm a superhero.
Right.
And I can talk to anyone, any crowd at any time. But when I take that uniform off, it's almost like I take that, I don't want to say confidence, because I'm still a confident person, but it's almost like I take that social ability off, and I'm left with this person who is an introvert who cannot see themselves being on a stage.
You change uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
And it is very difficult. And that was the biggest hurdle of putting this music out, is from day to day, I almost don't know how I'm going to be when it comes to my civilian personality. I take the uniform off and I have days where I'm fine. And then I have days where for me to go out and do something as simple as go to the market is very hard for me. You know, so I never wanted to put myself in a situation with music to where now I'm in a situation where I have to perform and I don't think I can do it. Do you know what I mean? And that was the barrier that I faced, because it wasn't recording music. I could record music. It was the putting it out there and putting myself out there. And am I going to be able to do this, dealing with what I deal with, the anxiety that I get of social crowds and putting myself out there? And am I going to be able to? And that's what I dealt with, you know, for so many years. And when I told you, when I started on the 1st of this year, it's kind of like I told myself, like, you're either going to do this and deal with the hurdles of the introvertness, or you're not going to do this at all and deal with the hurdle, which is far outweighs the smaller hurdle of the introvertness, of the heavy weight of knowing that God blessed you with this gift and you did absolutely nothing while you're here on this earth with this gift.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand totally. And addressing the shyness. I mean, I think the thing with me was I cared too much about what everybody else thought. You know, and that's it. And I really literally developed a mantra, and the mantra is crazy. It's like there's a book and a movie that just came. Well, a movie just came out a couple years ago, but a book that I read when I was younger called "I Kill Giants." Oh
yes, I read that book.
Yeah, literally, that became my mantra. if I, you know what I mean, like I walk into a room, I don't try to be loud. I just kind of do my thing, stay to myself, you know, shake hands with people if need be, but I just, you know, kind of sit in the back. I don't need to be that guy out in the front then. But you give me a microphone and the stage, I kill giants. Period. That's it. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about you, what you got to say negative. I kill giants. That's you know, or as I used to say when I was in my active years, I'm in the fire business. I make fire. You know, so you know, I get where you are with it. Like you said, it is almost shedding skin. You know what I mean? Like changing uniforms, taking one power and trading it for another. You know, Clark Kent versus Superman. That dichotomy of it all.
And you know, if you know me, I'm very quiet with that. I really don't speak much of being in the military. I really don't. I guess try to capitalize on being in the military. People that know me know that I'm very, very quiet when it comes to me being, I mean, literally down to where I won't even ask for a military discount for anything. I mean, I'm very quiet and very humble when it comes to being in the military. I feel like Being in the military, believe me, it's been a blessing. God knows I'm very thankful for being in the military, but it's not my life. It's
Right.
part of who I am, but it doesn't define who I am as a person. It's just part of what I do, and it's a part of my life, and it's a sacrifice that I made to protect this country, and to make a sacrifice to go somewhere else to protect us, so that no one comes here to harm my family. You know, that's something that I always told myself when I went in. Like, I would be willing to put my life on the line so that my mom doesn't have to worry.
Right.
You know, so but I'm very quiet when it comes to talking about me being. So you didn't even know I was still in the military. I'm very quiet when it comes to that end.
You got it. And my homework failed me.
I joke around a lot. Sometimes people ask me what I do, and I say, "Oh, I work at Walmart." I try to say something like that. I don't even, because once I say I'm in the military, then everything's, "Oh, you're in the military." Everything becomes about that, and it's kind of like,
Right.
I'm again overshadowed by my alter ego, and Cole goes to the side.
Right.
So I try not to speak much on being in the military, because although I'm humbled by the experience, there's more to me.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I'm sensitive to that, because, like I said, with the time I spent with Military First Network, and I mean, a lot of people don't know. I mean, I worked for the Department of Defense for almost a decade. I worked for Homeland Security, you know, so I have a very present military experience, like being around it, and I just that's why, if you notice on the beat, even with previous guests, I generally don't try to talk about the service, because, like you said, there's much more to the person. You know what I mean? And you know, we're all people. We just
Yeah.
do different things. So, you know, to like you said, for that to become, oh well, now you think you know this person because this person is in the military. It's, you know, it's not fair to the person.
You know, I mean, I can understand from another person's point of view, and I really do appreciate everybody that, you know, gives us our support. But once you open your mouth with the military, it's almost like that. It's all they want to know about. You know what I mean? And not that I'm not grateful for people who are truly appreciative of what we do, but it kind of overshadows us as who we are as individuals. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it takes away from what we do. You know what I mean? Look at D Wild, for instance. I've heard a lot of his music through him, and Vinch, the artist. That's another one of my homeboys right there, my friends. I listen to a lot of their music, and you would have never thought that they were so talented,
Right.
because all you see is their uniform.
Yeah.
You know, and people make that our talent, when that's not our only talent.
Right.
You know, and that's really not a talent within itself. That's just the sacrifice that we've made for this country. You know what I mean? But it doesn't define who we are or the talents that we have, you know. That's why I'm very thankful for Military Fresh, because they do showcase that, and they do allow us to put that out there. You know what I mean? They do allow us to show a different side of us, and show that we're human, you know, we're human beings too. And although we have this career that is an amazing career, and it's not like many, we're still able to do any and everything everybody else can do.
Sometimes better.
Yeah.
That part. We're gonna shift gears. But before we shift gears, shout out Military Fresh Network, Jimmy Fresh.
Yes.
What time it is? What is Fallback Sound?
Fallback Sound came from a conversation I was having with a friend when I spoke about dropping this music. I didn't ever intend to have Fallback Sound, to be honest with you. I was just going to put out my own music, and that's just what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And I was speaking with a very good friend of mine, and she said, well, how are you going to put it out? How are you going to distribute it? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I guess I'll just try to go on an independent label. And then she said, well, nobody has your type of sound. What kind of label are you going to go on? And I'm like, I guess you're right. And I started to think about it, and I said, well, I'll just start my own label. I mean, why can't I?
Right.
I'm an independent artist. Why can't I have my own label? And she started laughing. She thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. I mean, she just didn't take me seriously. She's like, okay, what are you going to call your label? And I said, I don't know, Fallback. And she's like, Fallback? What's that mean? And I said, well, look, if they don't like my music, they can fall back. And if they do like my music, they're going to fall back. So they're going to be like, wow, this is something different. So either way, you're going to fall back. And she started laughing. I said, no, that's what I'm going to name it. Seriously. It's a sound that is different from anything else. And it's a sound that will make you fall back, either because you don't like it and it ain't your vibe, or because it is your vibe and you're just in awe of what it is. So that's really how Fallback Sound came to be. I mean, it was just from a simple conversation and joking around, and it became something.
I love it.
My music is definitely different. I don't even place myself in my own genre. I mean, in a genre. I really just, it's just hip hop to me. I don't curse in any of my rhymes. I think you noticed that.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to. I'm a very lyrical person, and I'm very old school. So I'm a history of hip hop buff, and I just liked the old days of being able to listen to hip hop where it was just from the heart, and there wasn't really a lot of cursing. It was just someone on the mic that just shared a story, and I always thought in my head I wanted to be able to make music that children could listen to, young adults, down to my grandma, and be inspired by it, and that I would never have to be like, oh, grandma, you can't listen to that song. Got to turn that. Or fast forward it a little bit. I say this where I never wanted to make music like that,
Right.
So, I mean, I don't have anything against that type of music. I mean, I listen to that. Clearly I listen to hip hop music, so, but for my personal, just for my personal beliefs and my personal views, all I want to do is just make inspirational music. Every song that I write, or every song that people hear, I want them to be able to listen to that song from beginning to end and say, wow, she has a message. And the message is different. And it's a message that we've never heard before. Because the type of person I am, my character, how I come across, and the way I carry myself is different. As I'm not like anybody else. I'm not like anybody I've ever met, in all honesty. And where I've been at this whole time, locked in a room, because I'm an introvert.
It's funny. I had a regimen. I have a structure to the I think this is a better time to just go ahead and go to the music. We're gonna let the music talk, based off of how you carried that, how you presented that, and I love it. I love it. And let's talk about this. So, On Me. That's a single that we have. Actually, a video that you put out. I believe featuring Said He Said, right?
Yes, a good friend of mine.
How did that come about? Let's talk about that.
That song's been sitting on my phone in my notes for over 2 years. That song has been sitting in my phone for 2 years. I was driving home from work one day, and you ever get in that mood where you don't have something specific you want to listen to, and everything that you hear is just like, oh, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. You're just like in one of those moods. Have you ever had that?
5 days out of 7 days.
Well, I was tired. I had a long day from work. I think I had actually got off late. It was very late. And I was driving home, and I kept flipping through the stations. I didn't want to hear anything specific on my playlist. And I was flipping through the stations, trying to find something. I couldn't find anything. And I was like, thinking in my head, man, I wish there was just a song that just had a vibe from beginning to end. The beat and everything. It was just something you could just cruise to on your way home from work, or on a Friday night. It was a Friday night, and it was a thought that just stuck in my head. And literally about the next week, I was listening to beats because I often listen to beats. I like to listen to beats. When you're an artist and you're a writer, it's almost like a painter looking at a blank canvas. I like to listen to beats because I create songs from those beats. And I've done this since I was a young child. It's my way of thinking. I don't talk much to people, you know, I'm always in my thoughts. And when I have that beat on, I literally can freestyle everything that I'm feeling and let it out. And that's typically what I do at times. And I'll just freestyle exactly how I'm feeling. And I was listening to beats, and a beat came on, and it just clicked in my head. And when I heard the beginning of this beat, I'm like, man, this is what I was talking about. That type of beat that just has a real just chill vibe. And I started writing, and I wrote the song. And when I wrote the song, I wrote the hook as well, but I don't sing. I wish I could say I sing, but I'm no Lauryn Hill. So I just rap, and I'll stick with that. I'm not going to try to, I'm not a auto-tune fan. So I'm just a rapper. So I wrote the hook with the intention of a singer being on it. And it just sat in my phone because I wrote songs and they just stayed in my phone up until I started recording in November. And once I started recording in November, I was going through my phone with all the old songs that I had ever written, you know, just were sitting on them. And that song came into my head. And I'm like, if I can get a singer to sing this song, you definitely are recording this song. And Seti is a friend of mine who I met through another friend of ours. And when I first heard his voice, he just, in my head, I'm like, this is the guy. This guy, he just has, and he also too is an independent artist who is just trying to get out there. He's from Los Angeles, and he just has the rawest, real vocals I've ever heard for an R&B type singer. And when I heard his voice, I'm like, this is the guy for the song. And I asked him if he would do it, and he was like, sure, send it to me. And when I heard that song from beginning to end, I'm like, this is the song I can cruise to in my car. This is a song anybody can cruise to in their car, and it's just a vibe.
Okay. Just a vibe. So I'm gonna frame this one up a little bit different. So just to further accentuate how different you are. Check this out. On Me by Renee. You just said he said. Check this out.
Yeah. Cool to the touch, never said much. Buried in the wind, that's a diamond in the rough. I ain't feeling stuck, I ain't finna duck. Running with the ruck, I'ma run amok. What? I grind, I shine brighter than they flex. You ain't get the text, about to drop next. Must've hit decline like the rest. Lyrics hit your mind like chess. Trying to be the rook, trying to be the bishop and the queen. Give my life for the king, save my spleen from infection of the lean. Good, that's clean, make bars that's mean. Shh, you don't hear the drop, can't fade. Up late with the wordplay, verbs say. Better rise like the third day, first day. Get my life on a Thursday, look up. Moment too clutch, never feel rush. This fall back, never slack with the format. Get floored like a floor mat. Been here way before that, that's that. Facts for the cortex, more depth. Blueprint got more steps, complex. Just started, got more reps. Caught up in the whirlwind, welcome to the vortex.
Yeah. Yo, first of all, the wordplay of that was crazy. I love your presence. Like, you know, just the you have that Biggie thing that he fills up space with his voice type of deal because his presence is so hard. Like you got that. And it's all up and down that. And that, like you said, it was crazy with the violins coming in, and you know what I'm saying. So you like, okay, cool. I'm okay. I'm locking that in. I'm locking that in, and then you come back with these vocals, and it's like all that came out this lady here. Like this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's that. I was like when I was doing my homework and I heard that, I was like, yeah, fire. So
You
that's
know,
all.
a lot of people when they see me, they don't even know I rap. So when they hear something like that come out of me, they're like, "What is that?" You know, I'm very classic hip hop. Like I said, you really can't match my style or compare me to another person. In all honesty, I don't like to be compared. I've been that way since I was younger. I've always been set apart from everybody else because I have just my way of thinking is very different. I've always carried myself very differently. So to me, because I've always been so different, to compare me to another person wouldn't be something anybody could even do. So my lyrics truly just match who I am as a person. You know, they're not like anybody else's. I don't ever try to say I sound like this or I sound like that. I really just base everything on trying to be authentic and who I am as a person and what I feel and what I believe, you know. So my wordplay is something that I've always just, I get a kick out of just playing with words and you know, I'm the one that used to always read the dictionary and the thesaurus that stayed in my backpack. You know, I was always digging into trying to use words that were just different and that just went along with what I was saying, you know?
Right. Yeah. I in my later years, I found that's a muse for me. It's funny because a lot of people joke me for the way I speak sometimes, and it's just like, you know, saying words like vernacular. They're like, nobody talks like that. It's like, but it's a word. So like,
Yeah, I've had someone comment on I think that song or another song, like, you use too big of words, and I'm like, okay. You know, like, okay, you know.
Yeah, right. I'll dumb it down for you. Thank you.
Can't please everybody.
Exactly. So Vortex Freestyle, that's the next step. How did that come about?
Vortex Freestyle was actually a freestyle that I rapped in my phone, and that's exactly what it was. It was a freestyle that I rapped. I was driving home one day, and sometimes I'll record my freestyles. Like, I'll know when I'm on point. Some days I don't have really that good of a day of freestyle, and it's just like anything else. And I knew what I was saying was something different. So I pressed record on my phone, and I played it back, and I'm like, man, this could be a song. And I turned it into a song. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Vortex Freestyle. That ain't it, is it? Was that it?
I'm not sure.
That's not it, is it?
That's it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's do that again. It sounds like. Here we go. Check this out. Okay, so that's an error on my part because that actually is so what we just played was Vortex Freestyle, right? Not on me.
Oh, okay. You didn't play on me.
Yeah, I need to get on me. That's what. Okay, wait. You know what I mean? But it's 2021. You gotta retract your statement sometimes.
You gotta play on me.
Yeah. So let's go to Sunday and Sunday bars. Right? I have Sunday bars. Let's go to that, and I'll see you in the interim if I can get on me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So here we go. So first of all, Sunday bars. How did that come about?
Sunday bars. Sunday bars came about because I wanted. Everyone has Freestyle Friday.
Right. So
I wanted to do something different because I don't know. I love Sundays. I love going to church, and I love Sundays. So I thought, what a blessing! Bless somebody with some just classic bars on a Sunday. So it was my way of saying being different again. And instead of Freestyle Friday, doing Sunday bars. I actually have another Sunday bars that's going to be coming out in 2 weeks. It's something I want to do every now and then. Every now and then hit you off, break you off with the Sunday bars, and I get very just raw with kind of like my very cocky, confident type personality in just spitting raw bars.
Okay. All right. Sunday bars. Check this out. Here we go.
Yo, my chuck's on. I'm speaking so your luck's gone. Dead wrong. If you think I'll break, I'm too headstrong. Bred strong, a rare breed. Don't compare me. Confidence is scary. Never dare me. Transpire words like IED wires. One step, kaboom. Black suits fill the room. Fill the room with essence, something like a luminescence. Come like a blessing and I'll vanish like a stolen weapon. Sunday bars, type you playing classic cars with glasses on. Mad dog with your flannel on. I've been prime like I'm Amazon. I'm fly when the camera's on and fly when the camera's gone. I'm playing stand up like Richard Pryor. Lyrics flickered prior, that's a California wildfire. Fire, I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. There's way too many cheats, but I'm throwing like Mahomes.
It's way too many cheats, but I'm throwing like mine. That part. I think
I dropped that. I did drop that on Super Bowl Sunday too, which I was hoping the Kansas City would win, but
they won just from they won just from those bars right there. Awesome. So I was able to get the other song on me. And let's find that. It may just pop up, so I apologize. And again, I apologize. I want to apologize to you. That was not purposeful, but technical difficulties happen. Hang on a second. Yep, that's it. All right, so here we go. I am going to play On Me. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
Never call back, homie, this is fallback. What you call that, man? This sound on another level. Never settle, tell it like it is. Like I'm Aaron Neville, you in trouble. I'm double dragging when I'm finna rumble. If I stumble, count up all my loss, man, I keep it humble. Listen, I ain't even tripping, dipping on another vibe. Pray that I'm allowed to see haters sing the songs I write. Keep it tight. Yo, scratch your philosophy or your opinion of what I ought to be. Quite possibly, I stand alone in a metaphorical zone. No protocols in my habitat. Have it back. Nah, never had it to have to hand it back. Rather that, speak facts, you speak blabber back. Where your grammar at? Cutthroat, don't ask where my dagger at. I don't answer back. God I trust, don't even counteract. That's a dummy move, disrespecting like the dummies do. I project, it's you're of the enemy. Intuition, you never attacked unless your competition flattered by your mission, but not the one. Raised up from the sun on a level you just begun. Since the parting of the sea, we was pardoned to be free. Don't be slave to cliches that I ain't for the arteries. The heart of me keeps artistry on that First Amendment right. Armed to fight, that's on me, that's on my life.
On me, That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Yeah, yeah. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me.
I'm on a different vibe, like it's 95 better days. Simple music without the masquerade. From the era of riding shotgun in black Xteras, real vet. If you had your mixtape on a real cassette, now it's left in a room full of silhouettes. But I bet lyrics stab through them like a bayonet. Place your bets, I'm highly favored all the time. I pray to the one who turned water into wine. Cheers to that. Opposition, ain't no fear in that. Where they at? Never in the front, always in the back. They vomit words, aim to spray, never verbs. I'm spoken word awoken through his grace. I know I don't deserve reading psalms. Out of calm, inner Vietnam set aside. I just smile and let it slide. Put my seat back in the ride, raise the beat, feeling free, and I'm singing off key.
On me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Yeah, yeah. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me.
This that vibe for the 2021.
That's on me. Hey, yeah. Oh, Lord.
Yo, like you said, vibes, riding in the car. That's all me. PCH.
Yes, that's definitely a Sunday cruise. A Sunday. I mean, just the beat and everything. It's just a vibe. Honestly, it's really just a vibe. You know. Shout out to Seti Said for really helping me out with that song, and my friend Khalil, my good friend Khalil, he shot that video. Just everything about that song is it's just a vibe.
Dope. And your visuals are really, very good. So shout out, like we said.
Yes,
Khalil.
shout out to Khalil. Shout out to Khalil. That's pinpoint.
Okay.
Yeah, so man, that song was the first single. It's my first single. I don't think I would have wanted to come out with anything better than that. You know, I do have my little raw moments of it. Kind of you can see the shift from Sunday bars to to, you know, I have my little raw. I mean, I grew up listening to Wu-Tang and Tupac, so I have my little raw roughness to me. But when I really do write, I do have like a soft side to me. You know what I mean? But I can get raw. I mean, I'm from the battle days, the battle rap days. So I get that way when I need to. Sunday bars is usually always my battle rap arena. My next Sunday bars will come out in about 2 weeks.
Keep us posted. We repost for sure. So like again, we went out of order, right? Because based off of the flow of how everything was, I felt it was needed to, you know, we talked about the music. Let's just get to the music. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But coming back to it, what are you currently working on? You mentioned that you got an album coming out in 2 weeks, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, right?
In 13 days. In 13 days, I have an album coming out that this has been an album. The concept of this album and the name of this album I've had for over 5 years. An album I never honestly thought would ever come out because I never planned on doing music. I never thought that I was going to ever put an album out. I think I was dealing with the barrier of myself and the introvertness to the point that I was I don't want to say that I was dead set on never recording a song, but I think that my issues with dealing with my introvertness was so overwhelming years ago that I just never intended on ever putting music out. It was almost kind of like a thought that I didn't want to entertain. So I never had the idea to ever do it. 5 years ago, I had something very tragic happen to me. My father passed away suddenly from a heart attack, and he was one of the biggest supporters of my music. He knew from when I was a little girl what my gift was as well. He knew that I wanted to do music. He knew my problems, and he was a constant supporter of why are you not doing your music, Nicole? From time to time again, he would always have that heart-to-heart talk with me and tell me, why are you not doing your music?
Right.
And when he died, it was almost like my support was dead too. It was like almost like my wings were cut and I couldn't fly anymore. And any thought of being able to fly was just crushed, you know. So when he passed away, I was during the morning of his death, I thought of the album concept because I had already been through a lot of things in my life, but when he died, that was kind of like almost like the pinnacle. And I was looking back on my life and just thinking of everything I've been through. That kind of helped me out at times. Like, okay, Nicole, you've already been through deployments in the military. You've been through this and that. Like, this is just another thing in life, and it's part of life. You already knew you weren't going to have your parent, you know, your dad forever. And in that thought process, I remember telling myself, man, your life is really a mess right now. And I got that saying because my mom used to always tell me that. When I was younger, I was a very bad kid. I'm not even going to lie, Donnie. I'm not going to try to make myself sound like this angel with a halo on. I was bad. And that's the reason why I left to the Army. I really didn't have a choice. My mom kind of, well, I don't want to say she straight out did. The day of my graduation from high school, I kid you not, she said to me, if you do not have a job or you're not enrolled in college in 1 week, you're out. So when she told me that, I got a rude awakening real quick. And I just ended up going to the military because I was just like, well, I'll show her. I don't know why I thought that would affect her. I mean, she was the opposite, very happy I was leaving. But during that time of my life, she used to always say to me, this was a saying she always said to me. She used to always say, you're so beautiful, but you're a mess. Your life is a mess, or what you're doing is a mess. So those words stuck with me, and the phrase beautiful mess, I'm just a beautiful mess, came to my mind. And when my dad passed away, I thought of that, and I thought, I am going to do an album one day called Beautiful Mess. And I'm going to talk about my life and looking back on my life and everything that I've gone through and how it's made me who I am today. Because we're all imperfect people. And if you really think of it, we're all just a mess. But in that mess, God somehow always turns it into something beautiful. And there's always a plan, and we wouldn't be who we are today if we weren't in half the messes that we were in. They're learning experiences, and they turn into something that gives us not only the frame of mind, but it teaches us the strength that we have to get through what we're going through in life. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be who we are today without those experiences. So would I ever redo anything in my life? No. I wouldn't, because then I wouldn't be sitting here with you today, you know? So everything happens for a reason. So I came up with Beautiful Mess, which is the album that's coming out in 13 days. This album is a compilation of truly just writings from my heart. My experiences of looking back on my life and the struggles I've dealt with throughout my life. And it's a very deep album. from beginning to end, I don't think that you will not get one deep song out of this album. This song is a very in-depth album of who I am and my beliefs and how I've gotten through everything. So I highly encourage anybody to listen to this album. I truly, truly believe in my heart of hearts that this album is a classic. I'm telling you that before you even listen to it. I know it. This album, when I hear it, is a classic. It is just a raw classic hip hop album of just authenticity and just speaking from my heart.
Okay. I listen, I'll put it to you like this. You made me a believer, but what you putting it in words. I didn't even really need to hear it, but when I hear it, I know I'm like, oh, okay, yep, classic. You know what I mean? Like again, I'm touched by your story, man. I mean, you definitely have a very unique and very gravitized story. As meaning, you know, it has a gravity to it. People should be sucked into it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like I said, I just look forward to that. I with great interest. I'm very interested in it. And see where you go with this. So.
I'm excited as well. I'm excited as well because it's almost like I've waited my whole entire life for this moment. You know, my whole entire life has been music, and it's just been so shut off. Like once again, due to my own doubts and my own barriers that I placed on myself. I always knew that I was special, and I always knew that my music was. I'm not a cocky person. I'm just a very humble person, but I know when I have something, and I know that I have something. And, but I was just always, I always had self-doubt, and the self-doubt was placed there because of my introvertness. I always made excuses, and my closest friends to me know that I always made excuses. It was always something. It was, the beat's not good enough. Oh, I don't like the song after all. I need to re-record it. My vocals didn't sound good. I always made some excuse on why I couldn't put my music out. It was always something. And now looking back, it was not the beat. It was not the song. It was always me. I was the reason. My friends would tell you, and they could still tell you today, Nicole, there's nothing wrong with the song. But I would always be like, no, there is. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. If I'm going to put it out, it needs to be better than this. But it was me. And I hadn't transitioned into being a woman yet to know that. I was still a child with childlike thinking. And now that I look back, it's like, it wasn't anything but me. I was the mountain in the way of those songs coming out. And now I'm to the point to where I no longer have that, and I no longer have those excuses. And now it's like, I'm ready, and I'm ready to put this out, and I'm ready to share who I am with the world, and that they can relate. You know, I know many people out there deal with the same thing that I deal with, you know, and to be able to make a relatable song to a person is the most motivating and inspirational thing you can do while you're on this earth. You know, I would rather make an inspirational song any day over, I don't know, what's going to play at a club, or, you know, what I can pop a bottle of champagne to. You know, that's not my purpose to make those type of songs. My type of songs are to where it's touching someone's heart, and they can get through their day now because they heard the song that I put out. Or they can do what it is they finally didn't think they were able to do because they heard the lyrics to my song and they felt inspired by it. You know, that's why I make music, because there's a real message. And I've always said this, but music is the most single-handedly inspirational thing that a person can make. Because every single person on the face of this earth listens to at least one song a day. Everyone listens to music. Everyone. So for you to have that gift and that craft of being able to create something that inspires another person and can literally change their mood or their day,
Right.
that's amazing. Don't waste that gift and use it to inspire people, because you could change someone's entire day and thinking and life because of something you created. You know, that's touching and that's amazing. You know, so that alone within itself is that keeps me writing.
Well, what's interesting and very, very elegant about this interview is because you speak to the responsibility that we have as people with a platform. And you as a recording artist, as a CEO, you have a story. You know what I mean? You have a platform. You have something that people will pay attention to. But you choose to dedicate that not to follow others, but for you to pioneer. You know what I mean? And that's commendable. It truly is commendable. I'm in awe. Definitely. And even with that being said, and I know this is unheralded because this is usually my favorite part of the beat is the hot topic, but I don't think we even need hot topics here. I think we need to keep on touching on what you're talking about. I want to ask you the next question. What is the significance of all of the stuff that's said and done? What is the significance of being a minority business owner?
What is the significance of? Say it again.
What is the significance of being a minority business owner?
Oh, honestly, I never thought about that till recently. When I was younger, I didn't even know what minority was, to be honest with you. I always, growing up, I always knew that African American people were a minority, of course, but I never really thought of Hispanic people being a minority. I guess because there's so many of us everywhere, and I've never heard that many, crimes or anything or discrimination against Hispanic people. But as I've gotten older in the process,
these things happen. We'll give her an opportunity to chime back in, so we apologize for the technical difficulties. But since the pandemic, this is where we are with things. And unfortunately, these types of things happen. So hopefully, people, you can bear with me and bear with us. I'm sure she'll jump back on shortly. I do want to take the opportunity to say that I am truly infatuated with her story. She has a very, very unique and very good story. Her presence is exactly what it is to be a recording artist. She has a story, and she builds everything around that story. It's not out here, trying to find a new TikTok dance or whatever. And then it's no shade to nobody who does that. I mean, because obviously people who do that, they achieve great success with it in a lot of ways and a lot of times. But people who have a story. That's what the legends, that when you have legend status as recording artists, regardless of the genre, it all boils down to what is your story. And I learned that late, in my career. And I listen back to a lot of my old stuff and say, hey, what's the story? But the fact of the matter is that people who hold on to that and cultivate that and grow that and know how to make something out of nothing with that, I'm in awe of, and she's one of those people. So give her a couple more minutes. There she goes, popping back in one more time.
I'm back in.
I know you back. I was just talking to the people, man. Just tell them how important you are to the culture.
Sorry, my phone had some technical difficulties.
No worries.
Hold it.
No worries. I'm here to tell everyone I'm in the AV industry. These things happen all the time. Okay? So sorry if your attention span is not for this type of thing, but at the end of the day, these things happen. So anyway.
that's how you know you're a good host, because you can still keep the party going. You can still keep the party going when the crowd leaves.
Because a party is a party. You know, the world needs more of them. But again, the significance of being a minority business owner, and again, you were saying that you know you didn't even recognize that there what a minority was in
Yeah, I didn't understand until probably till I got into my late 20s. Did I understand? And like I said, the last 5 to 10 years of the problems and issues that Hispanic people are facing in the United States and outside of the United States. And it's sad, it's sad. And I remember being stationed in Georgia, and shout out to everybody at Fort Benning.
Ah, Jesus, Fort Benning.
Love Fort Benning. Okay. And I remember going to Alabama with a friend of mine, and I'd never been to Alabama before. And we went through the smallest town I've ever been through in my whole entire life. There literally was, I think the road was probably half a mile long, and that was the whole town. Yeah. And we stopped at a restaurant, and I had to go to the restroom, and I get up to go to the restroom, and there was a colored restroom and a white restroom. And I'm like, I thought it was a joke. I honestly thought it was a joke. And I went back to my friend, and I'm like, there's a segregated bathroom. And she's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, well, which one do I go to? I didn't know. And she's like, well, you're not white. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went to the colored bathroom. I don't know.
What? Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's the first time I ever really seen for myself, like firsthand, that there is a division, and that we do face issues. And even as now a business owner for Fallback Sound, I've faced a couple occurrences where I'm looked at as in like, okay, you're the owner, and I'm like, well, first of all, you got to remember, not only do I face like being Hispanic, but I'm also a woman. And that's huge, and that's something that's not really talked about, but the gender is still an issue, almost like I'm not taken seriously. I remember having a dealing when they asked, oh, well, where's your manager? And I'm like, well, I'm the owner. You're the owner? Yeah, I'm the owner. Like I almost get insulted by it, because I don't think that you should have any pre-notions on what anybody's able to do nowadays. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't limit anybody and what they're capable of doing. And because people do that, that's why people are limited. Because there's always these limitations that are placed on people, or there's these labels that are placed on people. And people that know me know that I cannot stand labels, and I cannot stand genres or being placed in a certain section, or because of how I dress or my gender, or like what type of music I do. Like I can't stand that. And it almost like, I want to use the word hate because it's a strong word, but I dislike it with a passion, because you are limiting people when you do something like that. Like, do not limit me because of something that my race. I can't. God made me this way. Like I didn't choose the color of my skin, and I didn't choose my gender. And don't limit what I can and cannot do because of something that I can't help. But you know what? Even if I could help it, I wouldn't have it any other way. Right. Because it's what I was blessed with, and I'll take that blessing wholeheartedly, but don't sit here and tell me I can't do something, or I'm unable to do something based off of my gender or how I look. Like I don't like that. Barriers like that, I will smash through. Barriers like that, I have no problem smashing through. It's my own barriers that are a little different, but those type of barriers, I don't like at all. I'll full force those type of barriers. But, you do face barriers being a recording artist, and especially with the transition of being a CEO for Fallback Sound. I've faced them, but I'm a very confident person, so I don't ever let it get to me. I know how people can be, and I know they can be cruel. And it's one of those things where I just smile back, and I feel sorry for them, you know, that their thinking is like that, because what can be accomplished if people just united? You know what I mean? The things that we would be able to accomplish as a society, as a community, you know, if we just weren't so divided and we just came together and agreed and everything, and we're in unison with everything, the things that we would be able to accomplish would be amazing. And it's so sad that we have such divisions, you know, based on the segregations we place on ourselves.
Right. I agree with everything you're saying. And you had, like, I'm not sure if you was paying attention. There was a comment, Renee Baca, shout out to Renee Baca, Nene Vision, QRS Studios in Burbank. This is another queen. She's a queen of QRS, and a minority business owner. Yes, a woman, you know, yes, a Latina, you know what I mean? Very competent. Woman of power, y'all stepping up. I mean, I don't think people are saying the same things that they were saying 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I asked a lot of my my guests with specificity to the status of where women are today, and a lot of women say that women are powered. You women are all power. You Jessica Jones, a la, you know what I mean? Like stepping up. You know, I dare I say taking over. Be quite honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there. I don't think people see things through those same lenses, except in places like Alabama. But you know, no shade to Alabama. But no, I mean, yeah, it's very important. It's very important for growth and healing for us as a society, as a culture, as a family, as a unit, because we all breathe the same air. Differences it make, you know. So it's always good to see, especially the sisters, unite and get the accolades they deserve. So definitely wanted to say all of that. Let me ask you another question, and then because we are, you know, I want to be respectful of your time. How hard is it to be a recording artist and the CEO of an entertainment brand?
Extremely hard, because I wear like multiple hats. And I don't even like wearing hats. And I wear multiple hats. I'm a hustler. When I have a hustler's mentality, you know. I'm a sergeant, so in the military, the type of job I have is a type of a hustler type job. So I already have that mentality, and I'm the type of person that I'm very competitive. So I don't like hearing the word no. No to me is just saying no. To me is not a rejection. No to me is just saying try again. That's what no tells me. I don't ever accept defeat. I don't take the word no lightly. So I'm a hustler. So when I knew that I was going to not only attempt to be an artist, but represent this brand and be the face of the brand, I took it with stride, and I laced my shoes up, and I said, I'm going to do this. You know, my plan is not to remain the only artist, but for right now, as I am the only artist, I mean, I'm in full force with it. I started clothing. I started with the hoodies, which is the Fallback Sound hoodies. And these things have been doing way better than I ever expected them to do. I really started it off with just one because I wanted to wear it myself, because I liked the logo. I liked the concept of the Fallback Sound, and I just wanted to wear one for myself. And when I wore it, a person asked me about it, and I thought in my head, you know what? Why don't I just make hoodies and sell them? And this is what will support the music, because I'm not selling my music. I didn't go into this to make money. I went in this to pour my heart out. And when you pour your heart out to someone, you don't say, hey, let me pour my heart out to you. Can you give me $10 after? You know, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here
Right.
to pour my heart out through this music, and I'm not asking for a dime because I don't want the money. I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing this for God because He blessed me with this gift. So the only thing that funds my music and being able to do the videos and everything are these hoodies. So you're honestly not you're getting a fresh hoodie, and you're also supporting an independent artist who
Right.
is trying to get their music out there and share a message that needs to be heard, you know. So I'm hustling these hoodies, I'm hustling my music to get out there, I'm hustling everything, and I wouldn't have it any other way because I know I'm going to be able to look back one day and see what God did with this label, what God is doing with this music, and be able to look back and be like, man, you know what? All that hustling paid off.
Right.
I'm a really big fan of Nipsey Hussle's story, the rapper Nipsey Hussle. He's
Yeah.
another LA rapper. I'm really a fan of the realness of who he was and the story that he had and how he started off from nothing to just everything he did for his community and just what he did. And I have a picture of him in my studio because it's a picture of when he was basically recording out of a room, started from nothing. And I have that picture to motivate me because if he can start from nothing, which is basically the same thing that I'm starting from, recording out of my garage with $400 equipment, why can't I get the same place that he got?
Right.
Why can I? We limit ourselves a lot in thinking that we can't obtain the same amount of success that a celebrity has. But why? Why can't we? They started from nothing and they got to where they're at. I don't think that we I think that we limit our own selves by not having enough confidence. And I have that confidence to think in my head or believe that it's not going to remain in my garage. Where it's going to go from here, I don't know, but I know it's not going to remain in my garage.
And the fact that you say it and say it with such conviction, I believe you. I absolutely do. And I've heard the work, so that tells me even more about it. So I mean, the sky's the limit, man. And I really wait to I can't wait to hear what this new album is going to be because like you said, I think it's going to be a gem, really. So make sure that you let me know when it comes out.
Yeah.
And I might even bring you back on for it. To be honest with you,
Yes,
and
yes, I'd love to be back. To talk about these songs. Each and every single one of these songs on this album has a story behind it. I'm talking everything from my introvertness to dealing with my father's death to the anxiety I deal with to past mistakes I've made. I'm hitting each and every single angle because I thought in my head, this could be your first and only album. So if it's going to be your first and only album, I'm literally going to lay it all on the line because, we never know how long we have on this earth. I could, God forbid, die next week in a car accident. But if I were to die, I knew that I put my heart on the line with that one album. And I would be okay knowing that I poured my heart out on that one album. Right. I don't plan on it being my only album, Donnie, but if it is, I know it's worth it.
Well, we got to keep you safe in these streets. We need to protect the national jewel over here. Nah, but I understand everything you're saying and everything you says. Again, you're an eloquent speaker. Let nobody fool you with that. I mean, you definitely have a way of words and understanding of the words too. So I'm with you. I'm with you. So. Let's ask because we coming up on time now. Any advice for aspiring talent, young entrepreneurs that's trying to fall back like you? You see what I did there?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I caught it. I caught what you threw.
Yeah, whatever you got. What advice do you have?
Do it. That's all. Do it. Do it. Do not limit yourself. Like, do not hold your own self back from what it is you're trying to do. Do it. Do not make excuses. Do not listen to other people's opinions. Just do it. Because at the end of the day, we have to go to sleep with our own selves. I don't go to sleep with the public opinion. I don't go to sleep with, anything else but my own heart and what I believe in my heart. And when I was younger, I used to, just like you mentioned earlier, used to care what people thought. You were almost like looking for acceptance maybe in what you were doing. I was the same way when I was younger. I was looking for, even though I was different, I was looking for someone. I mean, we all want to be accepted. I mean, we're only humans. You know what I mean? We all look for acceptance in people, and love, and when you don't feel you're getting that from people, it's almost like you tend to try to listen to what they have to say so that you can get that acceptance or love. Mm-hmm. But when you get older, or when you get to that place in your own journey and transition to the confidence of knowing who you are and what you're trying to do, then you realize that you're not doing it for acceptance. You're doing it for your personal, you're doing it for your personal purpose, whatever that purpose is. And if you are dead set on music and you believe in your heart that that's what you're good at and that's what you're trying to do, then don't let anybody, not even your own self, because believe me, I know from self-experience that I was my own barrier. Don't hold yourself back. Do it. Just put it out and don't care what people think, because you know what? You're always going to get a division. You're going to get some people who like you and you're going to get some people who don't. Don't be scared of critics, and don't be scared of people not liking your music, because there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't like your music. It's just, it comes with the, the good. You're always going to get critics, and what you do with that is what matters. If you're going to let it get to you and you're going to change your whole style and how you rap just because someone said it wasn't good, then then you don't truly know who you are as an artist or as a person. You're not supposed to change yourself. You're supposed to change people off of your music. So just do it. Anybody that's aspiring to do anything. I mean, literally, I've been recording since November. I don't know how many months is that? November, December, January, February, March. That's less than 6 months. Been recording since November, when I told myself that I was going to do this. Dropped my first freestyle in January. I've gone over to selling probably over 500 hoodies, have a full-fledged website, have an album that's coming out in 13 days, have over 5,000 streams on Spotify, and over 2,500 views on YouTube. I mean, not saying this to brag in any type of way. Lord knows my heart, and I'm saying this now, but I'm saying, look at what from going from nothing to pushing yourself can truly do.
Right.
I went into this on January 1st not knowing what was going to do, and look what it's done, all from pushing myself. So anybody that's aspiring to be an artist, push yourself, because you know what? When you push yourself, you don't know what can happen off of it. I mean, it can be anything. You can 100 views to thousands or millions. Just do it. Don't hold yourself back.
Listen, I like everything you said. I agree with. And again, like I said, you speak so eloquently. Like you put it exactly where it needed, like where the dart needed to land. And the only thing I have to say is it mirrors one of the greatest proverbs of all time, by one of the greatest masters of all time, Mr. Yoda. He said, "No, try not, do or do not. There is no try." So saying all that to say is that I wish I could take credit for it, but not Yoda, a bit.
That might be my next hoodie, Donnie. Don't be surprised if that's my next hoodie.
I just need my residuals on time. But lastly, how can people learn more about you and more about your story? Reach out to you, patronize the Fallback sound. Just support you. lift you up as you should be lifted, how can people reach out to you?
Yes, I have everything. Although I'm Cole Renee, I have everything under Fallback Sound because I'm really trying to build Fallback Sound up as a brand. So if you can go on www.fallbacksound.com. My Instagram's Fallback Sound. I don't have a Facebook. I'm just on Instagram right now, and I have my own website, which is the Fallback Sound. Everything's Fallback Sound. Fallback Sound, hear the songs that I have up so far, and you can get information on when Beautiful Mess is actually dropping. On Instagram, I usually always socially try to just stay in tune with everybody and just let everybody know who I am on a daily basis and just what I'm trying to do with this music and just who I am as a person, So Fallback Sound, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and the website Fallback Sound as well.
All right. Listen, with the Beautiful Mess, let's stay in touch, man. Like I said, I was serious. I'd like to, that'd be my first album review. So
yes,
why not?
Please do.
So
Do so.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good look. But listen, like I said, enamored with your story, enamored with you with your art, and the art that you put in the universe, man. Keep that energy, please, above all else. Like you said, have many people on the beat, none of which like you. So and I mean that in the best way. So keep doing your thing. You have a friend, a fan out in LA. And I wish nothing but the best for you. So just keep me posted with whatever you need me to repost or repost it. It's nothing, like, it is what it is. I just want to see good people such as yourself make it, man. You know what I mean? And feel like I had something microbial to do with that. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, keep that energy, man. Like, really, I need to get one of these Fallback hoodies now. It's hard times, man. How much the hoodie? Well, have my people call your people there, I'll have my people call your people, or either or. I need to support that. I need one of those hoodies.
I might give you a DOD discount, Donnie.
That's what we're gonna do. I like it.
That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you a DOD discount. I'll personally send you one and give you a DOD discount. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to have been on this show, and I'm so thankful and grateful. And you have no idea, to be able to sit here with you and share who I am and my story that's been a closed book for so long, to finally be able to start opening this book of my life and who I am and what I've gone through to get to this point. I'm humbled. I'm grateful. I'll never forget this interview. I'm so thankful, and I'm grateful to see the response for what this music is doing and the people who have listened to it thus far. I pray that you guys continue to listen to it and really just are inspired by the message that I opened myself up to allow you guys to hear, because it was so difficult for me for so long to be able to open myself up to what I dealt with and just the mess that I was. But once again, the mess has turned into something so beautiful that how can I not let the world hear it?
That part. And then, like I commonly say, man, never block your blessing. Well, a lot of times we block our own blessings, man, and a lot of times you get far into the journey and don't wait till the end to receive the blessing. So you turn your back right before you get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
that part.
Hashtag that part. But enough of those nuggets. At the end of the day, like I said, Cole Renee, I said everything and I meant everything. Pleasure to have you on. Again, we will have you back soon. And I look forward to whatever art that you have beyond that. And like I said, if I can help in any way, I'd be more than happy to. Again, for all everybody out in the wide world of the beat, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting and tuning in and vibing with us and continuing to vibe. This thing is growing, man. I mean, we in the outreach is I'm humbled myself. I mean, we in Africa now. We in and just had somebody a recording artist from Venezuela hit me up. They're getting the show, so people are tuning in, people are watching. So this fallback sound, Venezuela.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
that's
So the outreach is there, and so I want to say thank you for everybody. I want to say thank you for your time, Cole Renee, and stay tuned. This Sunday, Dr. Ebony from TLC's My Feet Are Killing Me. She's going to be on with me talking about what it's like to be a celebrity and a TV personality. She's also an accomplished podiatrist as well. So these are the type of people I try to bring on, people that are effectively moving and shaking and doing what it is they're doing, but they real. And that's the biggest thing that I wanted to capture with the beat. It's just I don't want it to be Fugazi. I wanted to be real. To be real people with real stories and real issues. And again, a lot like you, Cole Renee, because I mean this is probably the realest interview Cole Dag on 3 seasons of the beat. So I didn't even do a hot topic.
Next
You know what I'm saying? But we didn't need one. That's what I'm saying. Like it's but again, any last words?
No. Beautiful Mess, April 1st. Mark your calendars, April 1st.
It's gonna be on
Beautiful Mess. The story of Beautiful Mess will be opened up, and you guys will be able to hear for yourselves. Thank you so much once again. Fallback Sound. Follow me, Instagram. Go on the website, ride with me on this journey, and let's see where it goes.
Indeed. And is it going to be on SoundCloud, Apple Music? Where can they find it? April 1st. Is it which platform is it going to release on? Okay, here we go. Thank you again for everybody tuning in with the beat. I appreciate you. This is Donnie B, got the beat signing out. We live on the beat, and it is what it is. We out.
Donnie B.
Yeah, thank you.